Hello everyone and welcome to the SpyParty Masters Championship 2023 bracket reveal. I am your host, your caster, and your TO, Corvus Mallory, and today we're going to take a look at the SMC bracket, see who's going to be playing in the event, and get a sense of how it will run. As a reminder, this is an invitational event. Players who have had a lot of competitive success over the past year are invited to participate and duke it out in a 14-player event to crown the SMC champion. Players play on all the venues. Drafts are available in every stage. Many of these venue setups have been adjusted slightly just to make it a little bit harder on the sniper. We do have some small changes from last year, Courtyard being the most significant. And the Courtyard change is bringing it back to a 4 of 7 rather than a 3 of 5. And then we also removed one guest from Redwoods on the back of overwhelming community feedback. But we're here to check out our players, and let's get right into them. As a reminder, this is the structure of the SMC bracket. We have 8 challengers players who will play single elimination down to 2. Then those 2 challengers will have a chance to join the champions round-robin groups with the top 6 seeds. Each of those groups will promote 2 players to the champions bracket. The top 4 will then play single elimination to crown a champion. The total prize pool for SMC 2023 is a little north of $2,000, with $1,200 for a first place finish and $50 for third place in groups. So all those challengers fighting for a spot in the champions round robin and also fighting for a chance to be in the prize money. And let's go ahead with no further ado and introduce our first challenger. We're going to start with the challengers bracket, go down the list, and then we will turn to the champions round robin draft. So our first challenger is Adafayesh. Adafayesh, seed number 7 for SMC. And I almost feel like seed 7 undersells their performance this year. I mean, Ada has been extremely consistent and performant. 3rd place in Summer Cup, 5th place in Winter Cup, and even there in Summer Cup, Ada lost 4-9 against Rav, and in Winter Cup, Ada got swept by Koopa, who of course went on to win the entire event. So going out of both of those cups with really strong records. So Ada going to be, I think, yes, 7th seed, yes, challenger, but an extremely strong performer. Was in SMC last year as well, returning this year. Almost made it directly into champions, frankly, and I would not be at all surprised to see him there as the event goes on. But let's go ahead, turn to our next challenger. Seed number 8 is going to be Grosh. Grosh was also in SMC 2022. And Grosh this year has been very consistent again. 5th place in Summer Cup, 5th place in Winter Cup, 5th place in Hidden Cup. Grosh going 10-12 against Rav in Summer Cup. So very, very close to the top 4. 10-12 against Rav is just an amazing scoreline. And it's really something that you love to see from these competitors. The idea that all of these could theoretically come in any result. Grosh getting knocked out by Lev in the Winter Cup, and Grosh getting knocked out by Rav again in Hidden Cup. So 2 falls out of the top 4 just because of matches against Rav. So Grosh also a strong contender to make it into champions. Alright, let's keep going here. 9th seed is going to be David W. David W, this is going to be their first appearance in SMC. Did not make it in last year. David, of course, a 4th place in Winter Cup, and then also many, many very strong Swiss event finishes. a first place finish, 2 second place finishes, a third place finish, and all of those master rank points from Swiss really do add up. And so David, coming out of Winter Cup in 4th place, and then lots of Swiss points, makes it into the 9th seed of Challengers, and we'll be fighting for that round robin. All right, we're going to keep going here through the Challengers bracket. It's going to be Yitter. Yitter Bijum, I think, a very consistent player who has not really had a chance to break out on a big stage. Yitter won the Rave event in 1st place, and also 5th place in Hidden Cup, and then a couple of strong Swiss performances, a 2nd place and a 3rd place back early in the year. And that's going to be enough to take him to 10th seed. The Hidden Cup 3rd place finish here from Yitter was a loss to Koopa. So, again, we're seeing a lot of the same names here. A lot of the same names. No surprise. Those are our top 4 seeds in Challengers. Now, we haven't actually shown off any of the matches yet. The top 4 seeds in Challengers will play the bottom 4 seeds in Challengers in the first round, which takes place from October 1st to October 8th. And we'll go ahead and take a look at who those will be. Starting here at the bottom of your screen, bottom left, seed 11 is Guggy. Guggy was not able to make it into SMC 22, but is now appearing here in 23 on the back of a very strong Summer Cup performance. 4th place in Summer Cup 2023, along with a Swiss win last year. So this year, just looking at Summer Cup, 4th place from Guggy, a loss to Adafeyesh and a loss to Minioric. Obviously, again, same names keep coming up over and over again. These challengers are going to have a chance to try to make it back into the Champions Round Robin and maybe face some of those same players again. All right, that's Guggy. Let's take a look at seed 12. This will be David W's opponent, and this is the last player to qualify via Master Rank points, via their just aggregate performance in all of the ranked events this year. And that player is Scout. So Scout, this is going to be their 2nd SMC appearance. And in this case, Scout in 2023, 9th place in Summer Cup, 5th place in Winter Cup. Scout getting knocked out by Guggy in the Summer Cup and getting knocked out by David in the Winter Cup. So a repeat of that match is going to be queued up here in week 1 as we start to round out the Challengers bracket. Now, as a reminder, the last 2 slots here are not based on Master Rank points, so there are many ways to qualify for SMC. Mostly it's based around your performance in these tournaments, but the slot 13 is based specifically around Master Rank Swiss. So people who consistently played and people who consistently did well is going to take slot number 13, and that slot number 13 is going to go to Gentleman. So Gentleman actually has been a very strong, consistent player this year, I think it's fair to say. This is going to be the first appearance for Gentleman in SMC. But looking at the 2023 performance, 9th place in Winter Cup, 9th place in Hidden Cup, and then a bunch of Swiss events. So actually, Gent was very close to qualifying just through Master Rank points alone. Gent has been a huge grinder this year. Lots of, I don't want to call them upset plays, because I don't think that's quite fair to Gent. But lots of really strong showings, strong results. Did get knocked out by Scout in the Winter Cup, and then got knocked out by Nebula in Hidden Cup. 6-8 versus Nebula. So I think this is Gent's real opportunity to step onto a big stage, really show off what he's got. I think it will be a fantastic opportunity to see, all of these players, every single one of these players in Challengers, I think could make it into Champions Round Robin. I think Gent would be perhaps one of the least surprising ones. And slot number 14. Slot number 14 is our wildcard player. So this player is simply chosen at the tournament organizer's discretion, generally based on their performance in competitive events over the last year. This year it is probably going to be no big surprise. It is not any player I think that's going to shock anyone. The wildcard slot for SMC 2023 will go to Wrestler. Wrestler actually very, very close to qualifying from Master Rank points. Was just the next person on the list. Strong performance in 2023 with a 9th place in Winter Cup and a 9th place in Hidden Cup. Also extremely strong performance in the Swiss events that he played in. Second place, and first place. So really good here from Wrestler. Wrestler, of course, played, as I mentioned, in Winter Cup and Hidden Cup. Winter Cup, Wrestler was knocked out by Rav, and then in Hidden Cup, Wrestler was knocked out by Wrestler? Hello? By Damsquib. Damsquib 9-7. And that is your challengers bracket. Grash, Gentleman, David W, Scout, Adafeyesh, Wrestler, Yitter Bicham, and Guggy. So congratulations to everybody here that managed to make it in. Silver, that is the case. Gent did play more Swisses than Wrestler. Wrestler played 3 complete Swiss events, and then 1 Swiss event that was 3 out of 4. So was one match away from qualifying on Swiss events. You need 4 to qualify via Swiss. Alright, so with the challengers done, let's turn to our champions. Now champions is going to be a little different this year than it was last year. We mentioned this on the last SMC stream. Champions is drafted this year. So you see the 3 or 4, and the 5 or 6 boxes. Our top seeds will have a chance to draft those groups to give just a little bit more recognition to people who had those really strong finishes. And our first champion entrant is going to be none other than Koopa. Koopa, of course, just running an enormous result through the Winter Cup. I mean, you know, sometimes you talk about a player's performance being a little bit of an upset. I'm always nervous about doing that because sometimes you look back on it and you say that wasn't an upset, that was the start of an era of domination. So way too early to say exactly here what we should expect of Koopa, but just looking back at Koopa's record in the Winter Cup, Koopa went 9-0 over Adafeyesh, 13-11 over David W, and 14-11 over Rav. So Koopa, of course, winning a premier event, ends up as a top seed in SMC. And let's, of course, turn to our second seed. It will be Rav, the winner, excuse me, of the Summer Cup, doing a little bit of a rollover of Minioric, to be honest, in the finals. So Rav and Koopa will be here in the Champions Round Robin. And let's turn to the rest of our champions. In third seed is Minioric. Minioric, of course, was the SMC champion last year, so was guaranteed a slot in champions. Also had some very strong performances this year, so moved up from 5th seed to 3rd seed. 4th seed will be Sauerkraut. Sauerkraut had a bunch of extremely strong performances, was in SMC, last year, did very, very well, and now has returned directly into champions this year. 2023, Sauerkraut was, of course, 2nd place in Hidden Cup, and played with some strong results in some Swiss events as well. 5th seed in the SMC Champions groups will be Lev. Lev, another SMC veteran from 2022. And then in 2023, Lev with a 5th place finish in Summer Cup and a 3rd place finish in Winter Cup. And then, of course, our final champion will be Opie Wrights. Opie Wrights, as the runner-up in last year's SMC, is guaranteed a slot in champions this year. Opie Wrights, I think, 9th place in Summer Cup, 9th place in Winter Cup, 9th place in Hitting Cup. So still showing up, still playing. I think probably not at his peak level, but then again, a lot of people last year, with Opie Wright's performance in the 2022 Summer Cup, were saying Opie was coming into SMC 22 totally washed, and then he came all the way up to the finals. So too early to count out anyone in champions. Okay, now let's get to the fun part. So all of these players for champions I've just thrown over here on the right side of the screen. Haven't put them into groups yet. It's time for the draft. Here's the way the draft works. There are 3 things that our players can choose. The first is they can choose the split between Meteoric and Sauerkraut, who goes into Koopa's group and who goes into Rob's group. The second thing they can choose is the Lev-Opie split, so which group Lev goes into and which group Opie goes into. And then the third thing they can choose is whether the top bracket in Challengers goes into the top champions group or switch it around. Now, we don't know who's advancing from the Challengers brackets yet, so it's a little bit of thinking ahead into the future as to who you want in your group, but those are your 3 choices. You can split Meteoric Sauerkraut, you can split Lever Opie, or you can flip the Challengers bracket upside down. And our first drafter will be Koopa. So Koopa's choice of which of those 3 things to do is going to be drafting Lev into his group. So Opie will go to Rob's group, and Lev will come into Koopa's group. All right, that is our first draft choice, which means it is now time for Rob's draft. Rob, again, can either flip the bracket upside down from Challengers, or can split Mini and Sauerkraut and choose which of them goes into his group. Rob's choice is going to be to flip the Challengers bracket. So leaving 3rd and 4th seed undrafted, Rob deciding that he wants to play the winner of Grosh, Gentleman, David W., and Scout. Is this Rob dodging Ada? Is this Rob not caring whether he plays Meteoric or Sauerkraut? Who knows? Who knows what the idea is here, but that is the draft. Now, I'm going to be honest with everyone in stream. When I designed this drafting system, the idea was we would give a draft choice to 1st seed, to 2nd seed, and to 3rd seed. And the idea was that the choice of drafting between seeds 3 and 4 would probably be really important because those are the really strong players. And therefore I thought there was no chance. No chance at all. They would end up in a situation where the 3-4 draft split was the last to be chosen. And yet, here we are. Here we are, and so Meteoric, who is 3rd seed, per the rules, is going to choose the 3-4 draft split, choose which group Meteoric goes into and which group Sauerkraut goes into. So Meteoric gonna get a chance basically to just choose his fate. Does Meteoric want to play against Koopa and Lev and the winner of the upper challengers, or against Rob, Opie, and the winner of the lower challengers? And Meteoric will draft himself into the top round-robin group. Sauerkraut being relegated to Rob and Opie's group. And that is your SMC 2023 bracket. Again, we have the dates here. The Challengers bracket will run between October 1st and 15th. The Champions Round Robin will be 3 rounds from October 15th to November 5th. And then the Champions bracket will be between November 5th and November 19th. Again, finishes: first place $1,200 prize, $600 for second, $250 for third, and $150 for fourth. And third in groups get a $50 bonus. And then the finalists will automatically receive a qualification for the next SMC. And of course, it would not be a tournament and it would not be a bracket without predictions. So everybody get your predictions in. We've got a prediction sheet up at spypartysmc.com/predict. Looks just like all the Google Sheet prediction tools that you're used to using. So go ahead, type that in, get on that site. Go ahead and make your predictions now before the games start. Earn glory and fame and honor for predicting correctly. Make people laugh with your joke predictions, whatever it is. Keep it clean in there, but that is your prediction sheet for SMC 2023. Casts will begin as soon as the matches start being played. The event officially kicks off tomorrow. The hope and the intent is to cast every single match in SMC. And of course, to do that, we need your help. So if you would like to help cast, if you would like to help host, if you would like to help be an on-stream analyst, please let me know. We need lots of effort here to get SMC fully cast. And of course, all casters for SMC, all hosts for SMC, all analysts for SMC are paid because we want to make this as high quality and high production value an event as we possibly can. So get in touch with me if you would like to help cast, and we'll get all that set up as the first matches begin. Alright, that is it. That is our bracket. That is our stream. Of course, the bracket will also be posted into the SpyParty Discord, so you have a chance to look at it whenever you choose. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Legorv and me from a year ago with a replay of the SMC 2022 finals. So go ahead, stick around, watch that, make your draft prediction, your match predictions in the sheet. Once again, that's spypartysmc.com/predict. Thanks everybody so much for watching. Check out this replay of last year's finals, and I'll see you all soon.